What's up, degenerates?
What's going on, everybody? This is Zach coming to you from the All Bets Are Off official podcast. I'm live here in San Diego, California. This is my other degenerate friend, Jay. Jay, go ahead and say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everyone? Excited to be here. I'm over here in the mountains of Colorado. But none of that really fucking matters. What matters is going over these games, what's going on, the plays that we're going to take, and you're either going to make a bunch of money with us or you're going to lose a bunch of money with us. And that's up to you.
And that's really how it's going to go, to be honest with you. And just to give you guys some background, full disclaimer, we are not professional handicappers at all. In fact, we're almost the opposite of that. We're not really using statistics really for our bets, but it's more of just a feeling that we have. And again, sometimes we're going to be wrong, sometimes we're going to be right. We hope to engage with our audience as well. I think as degenerates total, we all go through these roller coasters of emotions that, through normal betting season that happens. And this is a place where you can really vent. You're probably going to hear a lot of language, so I wouldn't play this around your family members if they're around.
You call out.
Yeah, but yeah, this is without further ado, let's get into the schedule. Week 1, official. We're here. What are you thinking, Jay? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm excited. I'm feeling good going into the season. I think we got some steals week 1, but before we even do that, Let's talk about what happened last night with Dallas and Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I really don't want to relive that, but just for the sake of the show, as far as the amount of money, that's not going to really matter, right? But
no unit shaming.
I went in big. My thing is that I shouldn't drink and also gamble at the same time, and that's a mixture for a bad formula, and that's exactly what happened. So
long story short, my boy took Bucks -9, and boy, was it a roller coaster of emotions. From it's a lock to on Bible, I'm never betting again if I don't get this money back, to a wild return in the morning by playing blackjack. So
that's how it goes. I mean, that's the life. And to be honest with you, I think Jay knew that I was going to be back. And
absolutely,
if I had a nickel for every time I'd say, I'm done, I would probably have enough money to cover my, basically I would make more money than all the losses I've had already. I'm probably down so much money.
So you definitely pay for your funeral from having a heart attack that the games give you. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, anyway, so took first game, a little bump in the road. It's totally okay. Those things are going to happen. But yeah, I guess let's just go down the line of the matchups that we got, starting out with Philadelphia.
I do just want to put on the record, though, that your boy said it was going to be a close game for weeks, was talking about Cowboys with points for weeks. And I didn't take a full disclosure. I didn't take a bet in the start of the game, but I did, fade my buddy a couple times with some live bets. And they cash, but you know what? That's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you're on the up.
Yeah, sometimes you have to be against your friends. Sometimes you have to stab them in the back and change the energy. So that's the way it goes. But for those of you who don't know us,
we'll leave that one at that. Besides, hey, the Cowboys offense, just moving forward, I think that any team that the Cowboys play that has a weak secondary, I mean, that really has to be held in consideration. CeeDee Lamb, incredible, unstoppable. Dak Prescott looked better than he did before injury. I mean, Amari Cooper was great. So I think, the Cowboys, and after their first game, anyone that they play with a weak defense or even an over is pretty enticing. That's what I got from that game. What did you get from Tampa Bay, since I just gave the Dallas analysis?
I mean, Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay. The Bucks are who we thought they were, right? I mean, this is, the same story as last year. I mean, they get down to the wire. If they're not blowing teams out, they're going to find a way to win. My personal opinion, just as I was about to say before you started, you're a Raiders fan. I'm from Chicago originally. I'm a Chicago Bears fan. So we've never had anybody remotely close to someone like Tom Brady. So, but I do appreciate his greatness. I think you saw with the minute 42 last night. you knew they were down a field goal. He had all that time to go down to the field and or drive the field, excuse me, and he did what Tom Brady does best. So, but Dallas, they did impress me. Dak seems like he's fully back, which honestly, that was part of my reason on taking Tampa Bay. I really thought, no preseason experience this year. The whole thing with the shoulder injury and holding him out, I thought he was going to be a little bit rusty. I did, however, was very surprised on the usage rate of Ezekiel Elliott. I think what I saw was a great Tampa Bay pass or rush defense, excuse me. And they said, you know what, fuck it, we're just going to put Pollard in there and have him get those yards that we need.
Just little screen passes and just throw it down the field.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good game.
About that too, like how electric Dallas's offense was last night, and they didn't even use Zeke. Like that should really make you think of the points that they can put up this year.
Yeah, and 9 points. Now looking back, hindsight's always 20/20, right? But yeah, I mean they more than covered. I kind of knew it at halftime, even when Tampa Bay was up 5 points. I figured that was going to happen just by the way the Tampa Bay defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. Over was clearly the play there.
That was really surprising to me because with them having such a dominant defense in the playoffs last year, I was kind of shocked. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think there's more credit towards Dallas than discredit towards Tampa Bay, but I expected a little more. They definitely got better after halftime, but I expected way more from them.
Yeah. Well, enough about that game. We're ready to move on. Great quarterback play from both QBs. So
let's look at these matchups. Actually, let's go to NFL.com here because I think they'll actually have the lines. They should.
Yeah.
Later.
Can't believe the season is here. Wow.
I know. I'm so excited.
I think that's part of the reason why I was just so amped up where I didn't give a shit last night. I just wanted to bet something and, I
feel like it. I said I was going to stay away from it too, and there I was. All right, let's talk about probably the least exciting game that is going to be happening tomorrow. Actually, I wouldn't even say that, but it's the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Houston Texans in Houston. Obviously, big storylines. Trevor Lawrence, #1 pick, going to be playing against not Deshaun Watson, but Tyron Taylor. What do you think about that, man? Like, who do you think wins this game?
Yeah, this is probably one I'm going to stay away from, to be honest with you. I don't feel comfortable betting either side. I think, Urban Meyer's got everybody put in line. It's too bad about Travis Etienne's injury. I think that's going to hurt him, but James Robinson isn't any slouch either. So, I think both teams have potential, but, if I had to give an upper hand, I would say Jacksonville just because they're the unknown. Tyrod Taylor, he's a career backup quarterback. He's done good things at most places that he went. I guess as far as game management, I know people hate using that term, but the Bears don't have game management. So that's why I use it so heavily when I'm going to be talking about these teams. But yeah, I mean, I could see it going either way. I think
and just for the record, the line is the Jags are the favorite by 3 points. So yeah. I think that's fair. I think Taylor's going to be better than most people think. I think Brandon Cooks he who knows? He's a hit or miss, right? But I mean, the Texans have so many people that aren't on that team anymore. Like, like JJ Watt. Like this is a different Texans team, and there's no reason to think that they and let's think about the Jaguars, right? Trevor Lawrence, he might be a rookie. That O-line might be shit, but at the same time, they just had they had an off year last year, and before that, they had
they dumped everybody. They dumped all their talent. I mean,
dude, they dumped everyone, right?
Team. Yeah.
This is a toilet bowl. I would for sure not put any money on this, or definitely not put it in any parlay. And I think we should just leave this one at this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I say we leave it there. Not much to discuss here, but Trevor Lawrence, excited to see him.
Yeah.
Probably we'll watch the highlights. Not going to watch the game, but yeah, let's move on from this one for sure.
All right. Next one we're going to talk about is going to be the LA Chargers. I'll never get used to that, but that against the Washington football team, also something super weird.
Yeah.
Well, I think you know how I feel about it, but let's hear how you feel.
Yeah, this is probably, after giving it a lot more thought, this is probably one of my locks for the week. I think this is like at least a 2 or 3 unit play. Chargers are good, man. I mean, they closed out the season last year. I believe it was 4-0. In the last 4 games of the season. I think Justin Herbert, and this might be eye-popping to say, but I think he honestly has a good chance of being the MVP this year. With all the right pieces, you still have a lot of veteran play with Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. They did lose Hunter Henry to the New England Patriots. But I think guys like Mike Williams, if he's healthy, he could perform very well. And I mean, we're not even talking about the defense. I'll let you elaborate a little bit more, since this was your first pick that you wanted to tell me about.
Man, this honestly, when I was first saw the lines in the schedule for week 1, to me, this one jumped out to me the most. I couldn't even believe it. And when the lines actually first came out, the Chargers were -1, and
Right.
currently, they're +1.5. And to me, that's just crazy as shit, because this is the deal with the Chargers, especially last year, the year before. Like you mentioned, Justin Herbert is legit, and like they have real weapons on their team. Not to mention Derwin on like the defense. They were hurt last year. They didn't have Derwin James. Derwin James could easily be the best safety in football. So not only that, but the Chargers were the kings of losing last minute games last year. Last minute scores. They easily could have been a 10-win team.
I think they had most of their games were within
within a touchdown.
Within a touchdown, or within 4 points.
Dude, they were beating the shit out of the Buccaneers and Brady, and then they just fumbled it on the 10 or some crazy shit. But the Chargers are a lot closer than people think, and it's because they haven't been healthy. They didn't, as a Raiders fan, it's painful for me to say, but the Chargers are going to be really dangerous this year. And why is Washington football team getting this much credit? Because they have Fitzpatrick. Come on, man!
I think it's the defense. I think it's the defense.
Chase Young's great, but they were the paper champs, division champs last year. They didn't deserve a real division championship. I feel like they're giving them this line based on them winning the division last year, and to me, it's crazy. Chargers,
the worst division in football.
Put your house on it. Put your house on it. The Chargers are a lock.
Do not put your house on it unless it's a piece of your house and you're planning on foreclosing on it anywhere at some point. But I think the Chargers play in a tough division. I think it's going to be a competitive division. I mean, within those 3 teams, I still think the Chiefs are going to be the overwhelming favorite, but one of those teams will make it into a playoff spot. I would say that your Raiders don't have the best shot at it between the Broncos and Chargers, but I truly believe in Justin Herbert. I think he's going to be one of those generational quarterbacks that we're going to have. As you see, it started with the Mannings and Rodgers and Brady's and Breezes, and then you got Russell Wilson coming into the fold, and Mahomes, and I think these guys are just going to keep churning out this type of generational talent. Of course, that's what the NFL is, and I think he's going to be the poster child for this generation. So got a lot of faith in
Chargers. Chargers by 10.
I would also, if, I know that we're also going to be doing prop bets and things like that. I would put small amount of money on just them winning the Super Bowl. Why not? And also, being an MVP. I'm just saying, a small amount of money. It's if you're gonna make a bullshit bet anyway. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll
hold on before we go into if you had one prop bet, let's actually just say who do you think is gonna win MVP this year? Sweet. No reason why. Just name the name.
All right. I mean, in my mind,
I see you have to think about it. See it. You had to think about it. In my mind, all I see when I blink is Josh Allen. Josh Allen is going to take the Bills to the Super Bowl. I think that's going to happen. I think that
It's tough, man. It's tough to say.
I mean, it's
Mahomes
impossible, but I think it's going to happen. Josh Allen is the truth. He's getting better every year. Hold on, we're not even on that game yet. Let's take a step back.
Let's pump the brakes, dude.
Let's pump the brakes.
That was my fault though, because I started talking about prop bets and shit. But yeah, anyway, we'll talk about that later on.
Next game, which I wouldn't go as far as saying it's a lock, but the more that I think about it, the better.
I the Seahawks.
Seahawks at the Colts. Now, the Seahawks are -2.5. I definitely think they're gonna win. And to me personally, like spreads like 2.5 or whatever. Anything under 3, I'll just take money line. That's just how I am. But I honestly think Seattle crushes the Colts. I mean, let's think about this. The Colts quarterback is
Carson Wentz, dude.
No. It's Jacob Eason, right? He's starting.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's starting. Carson Wentz is hurt. He's not playing.
Oh, maybe didn't Carson Wentz have COVID or something like that?
No, he's like hurt. He has a serious injury. Let's look it up.
Wow. See, again, no one take us for being very serious.
We don't know shit about stats. Money, but look. Oh, wait, I'm wrong. Carson Wentz set for Colts debut.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know who the fuck Jacob Eason is. Is that the kid that went to like Georgia, then Washington, and played?
Man, I can't even remember. He's a bum, but
yeah.
Who cares? Check it out. Carson Wentz did have foot surgery. He had his foot surgery 6 weeks ago. So wait, how effective do you think this dude's gonna be? He just had foot surgery.
I mean, he could be fully healthy with a cannon for an arm, and I would still bet against him against the Seahawks. So
and he just got off, the COVID list.
Yeah.
But it was only from contact, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of respect for Frank Reich. I think he's a great coach. He knows, he's familiar with Carson Wentz. But it's not a good matchup in my mind. I think the Seahawks are going to be overpowering. I think this is going to be a blowout early. Like I don't even think it's going to be close. I think the 2.5 is disrespectful. I see 3 on some of my other sites here, but who really gives a shit at this point? I think Russell Wilson, played out of his fucking mind last year. So and DK Metcalf's getting better. He can he's like Jordan. He kind of just makes the guys around him better, like Lockett and all these, these guys that you hear that are superstars now.
Adams wasn't healthy last year. He's healthy. Defense. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, you don't it's a completely different team when you have a different starting quarterback. I mean, granted, you can have the same coach and personnel and a lot of the same players, but I mean, the quarterback changes the whole dynamic of so much shit. So
yeah, he's been doing this for a decade now, right? Him and Pete Carroll, they don't need to change what they've been doing. They're always competitive. I'll tell you this: I would never bet against Russell Wilson unless it was maybe the Chiefs or some elite team like that. But even then, it's just hard to bet. I've learned my lesson. I've always thought,
So are you putting action on this game? And if you are, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm putting heavy action on this game. I think this is going to be not even close. This is probably like a 3-unit play for me, at least, maybe 4 units. So I'm fully on board with the Seahawks. I think we're seeing eye to eye on that. Honestly, there's just not even more to discuss here. Just fucking put it in, lock it up, ready to go.
And just for some disclosure too, I love to put parlays together. I mean, I bet straight, live bets, whatever. But that's more my style. I'll have some parlays at the end, that my good friend here, Garza, will sign off on. But
yeah, because we all like to take shots in the dark. So yeah, it's good to have. But I mean, my theory is that if you're gonna put parlays in,
do it with your
make sure that you are betting straight games as well. That way, you lose your shit.
You can't just do parlays.
I used to be a parlay guy, right? And I would say, oh man, and it'd always be the same thing. 3 out of 4 of my teams would hit. You know what I mean? And if I just would have put enough money on each team separately and then put, the small amount of money on the parlay, I probably would have been more profitable. But I got off that. But I am a teaser guy, which I do have a teaser that's in play already from last night. So last night wasn't a total.
Hold on. We'll go over what we're laying down at the end for a recap.
Yeah.
But let's get back to this. We got the New York.
I do have a teaser in play. It wasn't a total loss last night.
So we got the New York Jets getting hosted by the Carolina Panthers. Also, pretty intriguing matchup.
Sam Darnold
with
his old team.
two shit teams, but we get to see the kid out of BYU. We also get fucking Darnold playing his old team week 1. I mean, what a storyline. It would be cool if it was in New York.
Yeah. I mean, I just think this is a game I'm probably staying away from. A lot of moving parts. I think Matt Rule is still trying to figure this team out with the Panthers. Good thing is you're getting a healthy Christian McCaffrey back. So I'm excited to see him, on the field. It's nice to see him healthy. I'm sure a lot of fantasy owners are happy as well that he's back fully in health. But yeah, Zach Wilson, it's kind of the same thing with Trevor Lawrence, right? High draft pick, franchise guy, a lot of pressure being put on them. They're going into Carolina. It's hard to back this team, but I don't know.
End of the day, you got to stay away from these bums until you at least know consistently what you're going to get from them. If you don't know exactly or have some kind of idea what that team is going to do for you every week, there's no way you should bet on that. You should just bet with what you know against what you know.
The Browns is the Browns, dude, and the fucking Cowboys are the Cowboys, and I had to eat shit last night and figure that out the hard way. But and I said coming into the season, I told you this many times. I said I'm gonna wait till week 3, week 4 to lay down some bets. We all knew that wasn't happening. I had the itch right here in this palm, and I decided to fire on all fucking cylinders last night. And again, I ate shit because of it. So, but yeah, you're right. With teams like this, you just got to sit back and see what's happening.
Another game that I feel like a lot of people are going to sit back, Vikings, Bengals. Now, me personally, I'm a huge fan of Joe Burrow. And
I know you are.
Talking about like his personality or what he did at LSU. I don't care about any of that. What I'm a fan of is what I like, the eye test, right? When I saw him last year, I was all in on him and Justin Herbert being the next 2 great quarterbacks of the NFL. Well, we know Justin Herbert is because of his, full season. But before Joe Burrow got hurt, he was awesome and he didn't have any help. So now he got more help on the O-line. They just did a whole bunch of draft picks on the O-line. He's got more weapons. I think the Bengals are going to be better than people think this year. And I would still stay away from this game. I so badly want to take the Bengals because I think the Bengals will actually win this game. But if I only had $100, this wouldn't be the game to bet on. So I would stay away from this one. But me personally, I'm a big fan of the Bengals taking this. I would even go money line. If I was, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I just got 2 words: Kirk fucking Cousins, dude. So I'm never going to take money and put money on that guy. Obviously, too, because they're an in-division rival with my Chicago Bears. I hardly never.
But even that aside,
yeah. I mean, when it comes to money, I'll bet on anything. But I don't have a lot of faith in the Vikings. I still don't know. Is Mike Zimmer still the coach there of the team?
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, I mean, if he is, I don't know how this guy still is a fucking job.
Like, whenever I think of the Vikings, I think of like Stephon Diggs and the Saints play, and then I'm just like, what even happened?
Yeah, and who was the quarterback? Was that Case Keenum that was the quarterback on that play? And they got rid of it.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
let's just leave this one on this. Like, stay away from this game.
Yeah, but honestly,
I just for the record, going back, when we go over all our picks and how they went, I think the Bengals are going to win this game, but I would not bet on this game. Final verdict, Zach?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally on board with you. The Bengals have a lot of young talent still that they have with Boyd, Higgins. Now they have Chase. I mean, there's a lot of things that they need to develop. But if we're going to put talent, obviously Dalvin Cook. I'm a Florida State guy. Big fan of his, but that's not going to be enough for me to convince me to bet. So yeah, I'm ready to move on from this game for sure.
Cool. Let's go ahead and move to the next one, which is going to be the Arizona Cardinals versus the Tennessee Titans at home. Honestly, first and foremost, I just want to I'm going to stay away from this game just for the fact that I mean, this is going to be a great game. It could go either way. I honestly could not tell you who's going to win this game. And to me, that's exciting. If I did have to lean more one way, I would lean more towards the Titans just because I know what they have, what they're capable of.
Yeah.
As of right now, I think people are just excited about what the Cardinals could be. And that's not enough for me when I'm betting. So personally, I like the Titans, but I'm staying away from this one.
Yeah, I think the storyline here is, we have two receivers, big names 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I mean, Julio's still a big name last year too.
I mean, there's still like dominant receivers. Like
yeah, no, but
the top five.
The addition of AJ Green on the Cardinals is great, but I don't think it's going to make a difference at all. I still see them as the same type of team. They're going to always be competitive. That's why I don't like the spread. I could see this being a 1-point game coming down to the wire, saying almost similar to what we saw last night. If I had to lean, it would be towards the Titans at home, just because I know I've seen the postseason play. How the way they use Henry coming off a 2,000-yard season.
Yeah, Derrick Henry could be the first player with this extra game this year. That I wouldn't even be surprised if he goes over 2,500 yards, 2,600 yards,
2,600 yards.
Dude, there's an extra game. Think about it. Derrick Henry's only getting better. That sounds crazy, but now with an extra game, every record's gonna be broken.
All right. When you think about these records, though, just pause on this for a second. Do you think of this extra game similar to the Roger Maris Babe Ruth situation, where they lengthened the season by 8 games, and then he hit 61, and then there was an asterisk, and in some people's mind, do you feel like that would be the same thing if he broke Eric Dickerson's record?
I think that's a great question, and the answer is, well, everyone that's alive and the old way is gonna think, that's not the real record because this dude did in 16. But unfortunately, that is the record because these are the game. This is the rules now. There's 17 games. There's gonna be 17 games next year, and there's gonna be 17 games for the end of time until there's 18 games. So in 10, 15, 20 years, doesn't even matter. No one's gonna give a shit what the record was. Just like right now, if someone's like, oh, well, Roger Maris did it 61, but in this, or whatever, what Babe Ruth did it in this, whatever, it doesn't even matter anymore. This is the now.
Yeah, no, agreed. Again, we're staying away from this one. It's going to be an exciting game, though. I do think it'll come down to the wire. It's just hard.
It'll be a fun one, though.
Points or.
I'm excited to see if Tannehill's fucking Cinderella slipper falls off too, because I still don't believe this shit. So, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, here we go. The San Francisco 49ers traveling across country to be hosted by the Detroit Lions with Jared Goff making his debut. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, so this is one of the plays that I had as a teaser, and I'll talk about that at the end. But that's a lot of points to cover. I think another interesting storyline here. The Detroit Lions and Rams do a QB swap. You have Jared Goff, who in my mind has been trash. Every time I've seen this guy play, I'm never impressed with him at all. I think he kind of reminds me of Jay Cutler a little bit. He has his moments. He's got a little bit more toughness in that. But I just think that when the game is on the line, this guy's gonna fucking
blows that color.
Yeah, and I don't make that comparison very lightly all the time, but yeah, I just think the guy is just not dependable at all. I think the Lions are gonna have a terrible season, per usual. If they couldn't get it done with Matt Stafford and fucking Calvin Johnson, there's not a chance that they're gonna get it done with Jared Goff. And they got rid of Galladay, right? So he's on the Giants. I don't even know who he's throwing to. Golden Tate? Is that guy even in the league anymore? I have no fucking idea. So
let's pull it up. I'm sure everyone's wondering the same fucking thing. Who's the?
Yeah, I mean, who is he throwing to at this point?
Let's see. Who?
DeAndre Swift's the running back. That's great.
Oh, Swift. I think Swift is going to be decent though.
Yeah.
Dude, who the fuck are Tyrell Williams? Yeah, as a Raiders fan, I mean, what it could be. So yeah, I'll see. That might as well fucking pencil in Mr. Glass, fucking Samuel Jackson, and that thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I have no faith in the Lions whatsoever. The San Francisco 49ers, I do like Kyle Shanahan. I think he's a talented coach. Obviously got them to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Should have won that Super Bowl, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, the defense I think is still going to be key. I mean, obviously Robert Saleh going to the Jets, leaving that. We don't really know what's going to happen there. You have Kittle coming back. You have all the weapons, Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel. Yeah, I mean, and Raheem Mostert. The talent is there, right? And
I think this Niners team is more reminiscent of the Super Bowl team than the team that was injured last year. They had tons of injuries. They've reloaded. They've been drafting well. This is going to be a blowout. I'm going to go as far as calling this one a lock. This is a lock.
Yeah, I'm siding with you as well. Yeah, I mean, I do not see how the Lions are going to be competitive here. They're just the Lions. I mean, they literally just. And I think Matt Patricia, he's gone, right? He got fired. So, yeah, I don't even know his coaching. I don't even know who the receivers are. You said Tyrell Williams. I don't even know the fuck that is either. So, yeah, give me the 49ers with the points.
Dude, and the line keeps getting bigger. Like what was it, 7 in the start? Now it's 8.5. Like
yeah, it was 7 to begin with.
And to be completely honest, like I'm putting the 49ers on almost every single one of my parlays. I'm taking them straight up. But when I do take these bets, I'm either taking money line or I'm actually just doing an alternate spread 6.5. I don't want to be burned by points on this one. I do think it's a lock the Niners win. I do think they probably cover, but for me personally, in my betting style, I like to take them at 6.5.
Yeah. I think they cover either way. Again, I have them in a teaser, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, I feel good about this game, and I'm definitely leaning Niners here.
Cool. Let's go. This is going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think, and that's the Steelers over in Buffalo at the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, the addition of Najee Harris, right? Huge expectations. I mean, I'm seeing this guy getting picked up in like the top 7 or 8 in fantasy leagues over like people like Ezekiel Elliott and the Gibson kid from Washington. And this hasn't even played a snap.
Shout out to Antioch High, where Najee Harris is from. But I'm telling you, like, the dude balls. He's good. He's solid guy. Like, and look, Big Ben looking decent. Like, they have talent at wide receiver still. Like, I know
Claypool, they got Smith-Schuster, they got Johnson. Yeah, the talent is there, right? But is Ben's arm going to be there? I mean, I think he's nearing 40 now.
He didn't have a run game last year, like James Conner.
Didn't have a run game, yeah.
So I think this is going to be closer. I do think that the Bills win this, and I think it's a close game. I think they win by 3. But I definitely don't think that they cover here. So I would take, me personally, I am not betting on this game at all. I'm completely staying away from it because in my mind it can go either way, and I'm not cool with games like that.
Yeah, I'm actually the opposite here. It's not a mortal lock for me, basically, but this is a game I am going to be taking with the points. I think that they're going to cover the touchdown. From what I've seen from the Bills, I think they're just bigger and better than last year. They got all the pieces. I think because they're the Steelers, and the Steelers, okay, they have a respectable defense. I think they just signed TJ Watt today to like a 4-year, $112 million deal. So he's getting paid with the addition of Mika Fitzpatrick from the Dolphins last year. That Steelers defense is coming back to what it should be. But I think they're going to be too much for the Bills to handle. And this is probably going to be like a 1-unit play for me to take the Bills minus the points. But again, I'll get to this bet later as they're part of my teaser as well.
Yeah. This is going to be a great game. One of the ones I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
Almost all the games that I'm looking forward to the most, I probably won't even watch because I'm not betting on them. And I'd watch bums that I'm betting on before I'd watch a showcase.
Speaking of bums, here we have the Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. This is a game I'm going to stay away from. I think that's pretty obvious. You have a lot of moving parts. The addition of Devontae Smith didn't get a whole lot of playing time. I didn't see really in the preseason, so not a lot to go after there. But Jalen Hurts trying to still earn that respect in the quarterback room and prove his point. that he should be the starter. Atlanta Falcons, I think, are just trying to save face. They did have the high draft pick, the tight end from Florida, Kyle Pitts, who I've been hearing he's highly regarded, almost in comparison in size to Calvin Johnson, to Megatron, which is a pretty big shoes to fill there. But yeah, I mean, Calvin Ridley I think he's going to have a breakout year. I shouldn't say breakout. I think he's just going to, with the loss of Julio Jones, he's sliding in that number one spot, and I think he's going to take full advantage. However, the defense on Atlanta is horrendous. I don't see them stopping the nosebleed at all. I think the Eagles are still an unknown team. That's why I don't really know a lot about the Eagles. They play in the worst division of the entire NFL. Half of the games are it's hard to tell if they're really that talented. But yeah, I'm not touching this game one bit.
Yeah, I would stay away from this game as well. I think the Eagles are getting 3 points. Last time I checked, it actually doesn't even have it up right here, so it's just showing money line. So it might have changed, but I will say that, for the record, I do think the Eagles are going to win this game. I do think that the Eagles are going to be a lot better than people think because, they're not going to wonder who should be the quarterback. There's no controversy. There's no nothing. Jalen Hurts has got this. I, as a Raiders fan, I was really hoping that we drafted Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to be great. I think he is great. And this Philly defense, surprisingly wasn't too bad. And sometimes they have a decent D line. I think that they're going to be better than people think, especially in their shit division. So I wouldn't even be surprised if, the Eagles are like an 8-9 team or whatever the fuck, 17 games, you always got to add something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think so as well. I think the Eagles, I think they're going to be a good team. I don't have the faith. There's more games to bet on this slate, in this opening weekend slate. It's just, not what I'm going to take. But yeah, if I had to decide, I'd decide the Eagles here for sure.
All right. And also at the end of this, we'll in the description of the video, we'll go ahead and put all our picks for free. So if anyone wants to see, follow along if you want.
You want to take a loss with me? That's totally okay.
Yeah, we ride together regardless.
Yeah, we ride or die together.
That's right.
RIP, fucking DMX. Rough riders till we die. I'm telling you right now. You can't put it against us, but don't hate us when we're losing, but don't try to love us when we're winning. If you're on one side or the other, you got to be
loyal. At us, bro.
Small fuck. Yeah.
So this game's gonna be electric, and I hate saying it because it just almost seems comical to even like consider the Browns electric. But I mean, they by the end of the year, like that fucking running back, combo over there with Hunt and fucking Chubbs. Oh my god! But once again, we're talking about the Chiefs here. Me personally, I think the Chiefs cover, but I think it's gonna be a competitive game until the end.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with you. I do think the Chiefs cover. I believe last year, if you probably noticed in the Super Bowl, they didn't really have much of their offensive line. A lot of that was due to injuries and COVID. I believe Laurent, I forget what his last name is, but he opted out to not play last year. They do have a full offensive line ready to go for Mahomes. If you don't know about the Chiefs, you're a fucking idiot, and you shouldn't be listening to our podcast right now.
You probably haven't made it this far in the video if you don't know.
Yeah. At this point, you can't bet against the Chiefs. But Browns, wow. Talk about stacked talent. I'm literally trying to think of every.
Odell's back too. Odell's back. He wasn't even.
Yeah, you have as receivers, you have Odell Beckham, you have Jarvis Landry, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and then I forgot the other guy. I think he's.
They got Njoku, tight end, right? Like he's decent.
They got Njoku. They got Austin Hooper from Atlanta. This is a squad that's built. How about Jadeveon Clowney on the other side?
I think when we're talking about this game, honestly, the X factor of it all is going to be Baker Mayfield. Is Baker Mayfield going to be the good quarterback he could be, or is he just going to be like the one that fucks up because he's on the Browns and that's what everyone expects? So
yeah,
I'm see.
Looking at their line right now, they have a base 4-3 defense. Look at these names. They have Myles Garrett, Malik Jackson.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the D line. Like their D
Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
and Andrew Billings with
If
Malik
if the Chiefs,
McDowell.
if this is, I think, what people aren't thinking about. If the Chiefs O line is that, which is a new, different O line, if they
Right.
not ready and not a unit that they need to be, dude, the Browns will eat them for lunch on that front. Mahomes is still going to be great, but let's think about it. He needs time for Tyreek Hill to run down that fucking field. He needs time to spread that
100%.
offense. So that's the X factor in this game is going to be one Baker Mayfield, but also the line, the O line, D line battle between the Browns and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm putting Chiefs money line on a couple parlays. I'm not going to take it straight. It scares me. I think I have visions of even waking up Monday morning and seeing highlights of the Browns upsetting the Chiefs at home. I think it's possible. Not likely, but possible.
Yeah, it's possible, not likely. Again, this is probably going to be a 2-unit play for me. Or I should say 1-unit play for me. I do favor the Chiefs, but it's not necessarily a lock. I mean, let's be honest here. The Browns have a full roster of all stars. It's also the first game of the season. I want to say last year. I mean, granted, it was a COVID season. But I believe that the score of the Chiefs game was pretty close. I think they were trying to figure things out again with not having their full roster.
This game is going to be close.
But it could be a close one as well. But I still favor the Chiefs here, probably with a 1-unit play.
I like it.
Yeah,
I think this is a game that we both agree on. Also, probably going to be pretty exciting. Maybe a bowl.
Yeah.
But once again, going back to my story of, I like to bet on teams that I know what I'm going to see. We know exactly what we're going to get out of the Green Bay Packers.
100%.
Coming back. We don't know what the Saints are going to look like. They don't have Michael Thomas. They don't have Drew Brees. To me, it's a joke that the line's even this close. I think the Packers blow them out. But the Saints still stay competitive for a long time. But then again, that's when they had Drew Brees. So I would consider the Packers money line a lock. But I also think they cover. That's how I feel about this game.
Yeah, this is my lock of the week.
Lock of the week. Huh? If you had one, this is it.
This is it. I'm glad we kind of went through all the bullshit just to get to this one. This is my number one play. Aaron Rodgers is coming off an MVP season. He's got his old buddy Randall Cobb back. They know each other very well. I mean, it's kind of like, again, the Jordan factor. He's just going to make people around him better. That's why you wouldn't know who the fuck Ron Harper and Steve Kerr was if it wasn't for Michael Jordan. Same thing with this, even though Devontae Adams is, arguably the best wide receiver in football as well. They have a full, healthy running backs as far as A.J. Dillon out of Boston College. They got Aaron Jones, Pro Bowler. So, yeah, I mean, I'm in full confidence. They did lose David Bakhtiari to an injury. I think he's out for the year. I mean, that's huge. But I think, these guys know that they have to protect Aaron Rodgers, and I think they will. I'm a Florida State guy, as you'll hear me say a lot. I'm very familiar with Jameis Winston. I lived in Tampa when he got drafted. I actually saw the first game when him and Mariota played against each other, and that hot fucking Tampa weather and Raymond James. And I knew what we were getting at that point. And 30 for 30 is exactly what I expect this year to repeat itself. He doesn't have Michael Thomas. They do have Alvin Kamara, but if you know how Jameis's tendencies are, his eyes go downfield, and it's not going to be always the check down. Granted, maybe he picked up some things last year from learning from Drew Brees and learning how that system goes. But
it's not going to be enough. Let's be real here.
This is a lock for me. I think the Packers blow them out by 10 points or more. I don't even think it's close. This is going to be a 5-unit play for me. This is my pick to click for the week. I'm all fucking in, ready to roll. I'll put my reputation on this game. And believe me, as much as I say as a Bears fan, I don't want to root for the Packers. I am fully on board with what they have going on. I think, LaFleur wants to keep Rodgers around. I think they want this thing to work out. But if it doesn't, on the flip side, if it's not, going to be another season, then he's going to leave it all on the field, Aaron Rodgers. So I think either way, it's going to be a win-win, and Packers is a play for me for the week.
Yep. Lock it. Put it in the bank account already.
Yeah.
This game
Send a
actually,
memo.
personally, I'm going to stay away from Denver
Yeah.
Broncos at the New York Giants. But one thing that I will say is these are two teams that are both going to be way better than people think they're going to be this year.
100%.
Denver Broncos, they weren't healthy last year. Once again, I watch a lot of, if anything, the most AFC West football, being a Raiders fan.
You
So
do.
I live in Colorado in the Denver metro area. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think I saw almost all of the Broncos games last year. They weren't healthy. They didn't have Von Miller. Chubb is getting better.
Yep.
This team is getting better, and Teddy Bridgewater looks legit. And I'll tell you right now, Jerry Jeudy is amazing. What you saw from CD Lamb last night is exactly what you're going to see from Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy is going to go off. He's going to show. I mean, I know Sutton's back, which is a huge weapon. Noah Fant's getting better. I mean, I hate the Broncos, but they're going to be legit this year. The only reason they don't make the playoffs is because everyone's legit in the AFC West this year. New York Giants, in my opinion, was the best team in the NFC East last year, and that was without Saquon. Saquon's coming back. Like, I know we can't name a lot of players on the Giants, but they're legit, man. And I personally think the Broncos are going to win this. They're -3, but I would not bet on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mirroring what you're saying here. I think Bridgewater still has a little bit left in the tank, and if not, you got Drew Lock, and he's not a slouch either. I think he's got potential. They got the running back core. Yeah, I mean, they got good running backs. They got Jamonte Williams. They have more Melvin Gordon, who I still think has a lot of potential too. The wide receiver core with Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. I mean, they're a talented team, and the addition of Von Miller makes them dangerous, and I think they will be competitive. On the flip side, the Giants, to me, I mean, saying that you were the best in the East, it is what it is. I don't really put a lot of stock into that per se, but I think my initial feeling is that I think the Broncos will walk away with the win here. But yeah, I don't have a play on either side. I'm going to definitely stay away from this. I don't know where Saquon's at right now. I don't know what his usage rate is going to be. Similar to what we saw with Zeke on Thursday night, there wasn't a big usage rate. And I don't know if that was part of the game plan for Kellen Moore on the offense, but they do have the addition of Kenny Golladay. So you were saying, trying to remember names on that team. Yeah, he's one right there. He's definitely talented, but yeah, this is going to be one of those sit back and see what happens, right? Like,
unfortunately, somehow I'm probably going to end up watching this game, but yeah, lame.
Probably. You'll probably I
am excited to see how these teams perform throughout the year, though, but we'll leave that one at that. Man, you know what? I really wanted to talk about this one, but I'm going to let you lead off with it. Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Storyline. Cam Newton's gone. This is Mac Jones's team now.
Yeah.
Miami, Tua. I mean, there's no Fitz magic. This is Tua's team, even though I feel like he's been disrespected since he's got there. Like, the dude came off hip surgery. He was a little overrated, in my opinion, but don't get me started. What do you think? First and foremost, are you taking action on this? And who do you think is going to win?
I'm not taking action on it at all. I'm staying away from this one. This is a dog with way too many fleas. Again, too many unknowns. I hate to say this, but I'm not a believer in Tua at all. I think I see a resemblance of like a Tim Tebow type of thing. He is a lefty. Let's put all our cards on the table here. When the fucking season came on the line for them to win, it was the face mask that Fitzpatrick threw downfield. They didn't let Tua play the rest of that game, and that's why.
Yeah, but I mean, I do have to have Tua's back a little. I do agree with you. I don't think Tua is going like Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. He's not in that category. But I will say, we have to give him a little bit more of a chance because he could be like a watered down like Kyler Murray because the dude came off hip surgery, bro. And he was a rookie. So, the Dolphins have a lot of talent around him. They have a good defense. They have a great coach. The players are bought in. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Patriots. They are the underdog. And think about this. The Patriots and Dolphins, they always play each other tough. Like this is
Yeah.
always a
Yeah.
fight.
No. That is true. I mean, like, think about how many times you probably heard when Tom Brady went to Miami, like, those games
Oh,
were close and it was like
yeah.
your Super Bowl, right? I don't think it's the same type of
I
atmosphere
actually fun
or
fun
comparison.
story. I remember when I took you to your first Raiders game.
Yeah.
Um,
I remember
you
that. Got fucked
we,
up.
we were drunk in the back of the Uber, our cab, and then you told me, "Hey, dude, this is a lock. The Patriots are going to cover in Miami." They did, by the way. But I
I don't
was
know how you
the
remember
whole
that.
game.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I think of every time I see the Patriots play the Dolphins.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, like, and I think the Dolphins, there's a lot of talent surrounding Tua, so it's not going to be an excuse that he doesn't have the people. Like, they just got Jalen Waddle, which he's certainly familiar with from Alabama. I'm
So
expecting big things
why do you
out of
think
that kid.
why do you think the Patriots are favored in here? Like, what warrants that? They were like a decent team at best last year.
Because they have Bill Belichick, man. I mean, he's been in this division. He's been the longest standing coach in the NFL. He knows, the system. I mean, Tua's not a threat. Miles Gaskin. I mean, they got Devontae Parker, Waddle, Fuller suspended, so he's not playing. So I think that has a lot to do with it. Fuller is definitely an addition. I like the tight end, Gesicki. I think he's super talented. But yeah, I really don't think it's going to be enough for them to go into New England and come out with the win. Also, like, I don't know if you were familiar with like the whole, Xavier and Howard type drama that happened about him wanting to like stay on
Yeah.
the team and they didn't want to pay him, and then I guess they worked it out. I don't fucking know what happened there, but yeah, I guess he's playing. You got one of the McCourty brothers that are playing against his old team, but none of that shit matters. Either way, whoever wins, more power to them. I don't give a fuck. I'm not having any part to do with this game. Like, it'll be entertaining to watch two Alabama quarterbacks going at it with each other. And hopefully maybe, Tua develop some rapport with Waddle, like I think Hurts will with Smith, because they've played together. So that could be an advantage there.
So I think it's so fitting that, this is the first time we're really doing this. And the last two games that we're going to cover are your team and my team. So
Yeah.
with further ado, let's go ahead to your team. The Chicago Bears will be traveling to your new home, Los Angeles, to play the Chargers. You're actually going to be there that night. Am I right?
I will be there. Like you said, to play the Chargers, but play the Rams. Yes, I will be.
The Rams. Sorry.
Yeah, I will be there on Sunday night, with witnessing the Red Rifle at a start, which we'll get into in a little bit. But yeah, I will be there live. I'm super pumped. Obviously SoFi Stadium is brand new, so that's really exciting for me. I have a fellow Bears fan. He was born and raised in Lake Forest, coming with me, so he's super pumped. We're going to be representing there. I'll probably have some content I'll be putting out there, but yeah, talk about the game. No one cares about my fucking personal life. So,
well, honestly, I'm gonna stay away from it. I don't know enough.
Yeah.
I feel like, I've watched a bunch of Bear football because of you last year, and I lost a lot of money on the Rams last year, so I don't trust them. Everyone has that one team that always seems to fuck them. For me, that's the Rams.
You did say that a lot, yeah. And I think we said the Rams and the Seahawks. I think we said the Rams and the Seahawks.
The Rams and the Seahawks like fucked me daily, like every week.
Yeah. So, yeah. First of all, I want to say, and I won't bring this up again, but like, I cannot believe the Bears drafted Justin Fields. Like, you talked to me that day, I was screaming. I literally couldn't. I thought when they moved up to the 11th spot, they were going to definitely draft Mac Jones. I had the Trubisky thing, nightmare playing all in my head again. And the fact that they took Fields is unreal. The kid had a great preseason.
I think a lot of people were surprised that he fell to 11 too. I think that was shocking.
I think they did. I mean, to be honest with you, I had him on my board higher than Wilson and Trey Lance. I thought he was definitely the number 2 quarterback behind Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, with Trevor Lawrence, no matter what, to me, I would have picked him first for the record, no matter what happens from here on out. But yeah, I thought Justin Fields was definitely going to be taken ahead of time. I did not expect us to make a move and get him. So kudos to Ryan Pace for doing that. That's probably one of the only good moves that he's really ever made. But yeah, I mean, a lot of exciting stuff. He had a great preseason. I do believe though that like the leash on Andy Dalton and Matt Nagy is extremely short. I think if we even make 2 losses in the season, Fields is going to have his time. Hopefully it's only 2 fucking snaps and I get to see him play Sunday night, or maybe a series or 2. maybe they're going to try to work him in, do like a Taysom Hill type thing where they're trading off like they did with Drew Brees a little bit. But yeah, I think the Bears are this is going to be the future for them. I mean, I find myself saying this shit all the time, but I have a little bit more confidence in this time, knowing that we've actually drafted a franchise
quarterback. Were you betting on this, and who do you think wins and how?
I'm not betting on it. If I had to take a side, I would pick the Rams. I do have respect for Matthew Stafford.
You think the Bears cover though with +8? They're getting 8 points. Do you think they can cover? Like, is this going to be a close game? Because 8 points is a lot. Like,
I don't have trust in the O-line, and I definitely don't have trust in Andy Dalton to keep it competitive. My expectation is that I do think the Rams will win and cover. I don't want to bet against my team either, so it's not like I'm going to take the points. And I'm not one of these guys that are like, hey, I'm never going to bet against my team. Trust me, dude. I've taken Bears, teams against the Bears. It's just that's a lot of points, and I think like again, it's unknown. I'm like, if you're telling me to put money on Andy Dalton right now without knowing what I know about Andy fucking Dalton, that's just never gonna happen.
Yeah,
and I want to see what happens with our defense as well. Like,
dude, you guys had a legit defense. I mean,
yeah, but our what's his name? Chuck Pagano left, so he's not running the defense anymore. We have this new guy.
Honestly, I know we really haven't called one of these out so far in this show, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was an under game. Like, I don't know, I don't have the over under in front of me, but I can kind of foresee this being a low scoring game and not really getting over 40 for sure.
Yeah, this could be an under game. That's not a play that I would put in just because I'm just not confident. And again, some of you more, or some of you better handicappers out there, and you may think like it's some of these games like I'm not a big over unders guy.
Not betting on this, but
yeah, we're not betting on it. Storybook closed for the time being. I'm just gonna be there enjoying the game, getting drunk, hanging out with my buddy, screaming from the 50-yard line, and just enjoying the new stadium. To be honest with you, I think it's gonna be a cool experience.
So last game, and we'll probably go over this briefly when we recap our picks and how they went on Sunday. We're gonna talk again Monday, going over Sundays. We'll talk about this one again, but real quick, my Oakland Raiders at home, first time in fans in Las Vegas.
Oakland Raiders?
Oh, I mean Las Vegas Raiders. Sorry, I'm still not get used to that.
Yeah.
But at home against the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, personally, it breaks my heart, but the Raiders they still have a horrible defense. I mean, their offense has never been the problem. Derek Carr, love him or hate him. I mean, I'm sure you're gonna know how I feel about him plenty this year, so I won't even get started how I feel about Derek Carr. But one thing is to say that I think this offense that they have is electric. Gruden loves his offense, doesn't think twice about his defense. I will say that one, I do think the Raiders could win. I have them on my parlays because they are on Monday Night Football, so you could hedge if you wanted to for people who know how to do that. But one thing that I will say is I love the over in this game. Raiders have a terrible offense. I mean, a terrible defense, a great offense. Baltimore's going to score. Like, even with, their running back out, like Lamar Jackson's going to score.
Yeah, and Marcus Peters is out for their defense.
Oh, yeah. Dude, 2 ACLs in one practice? Jeez,
that's fucking unlucky. It sounds like something that would happen in Chicago. And then Matthew Judon is no longer on the team. He's on the Patriots.
I'll tell you what, Marquise Brown is going to burn somebody on the Raiders for like an 80-yard touchdown. I'm calling that right now.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen. But yeah, I mean, the over could be the play here. I know the point spread is 4. Raiders just tend to always just kind of keep it close. I mean, even if they're like pulling away.
Good opening night. Monday night, they always play really well in primetime games for the most part. They always play and there's a lot of hype for the first game in Vegas. By the way, the most expensive tickets in football, which is just fucking trash.
Yeah, I think it was like $800 for nosebleeds even last year, right? When we looked, like that.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. But I think
black when you get there, and then if you can get tickets to the game, more power to you. But yeah,
are you gonna take? I mean, it's Monday night. Let's be real. The degenerates that we are, especially when we have a good week after Sunday, we know we're gonna end up betting on this. So I will say that I'm probably gonna take the Raiders in points on the over.
Yeah, I'm probably leaning towards the over on this one. I think there will be a lot of points scored. I think you're right. I mean, the Raiders' defense isn't impressive at all. I think the Ravens' defense is kind of falling apart. So yeah, I just it's not what it was, years ago. So yeah, I think the over is a play. I'm not going to pick a side either way with each team.
Cool. All
So
right. So we went through all the games. I know it took us a little bit, but now to the
yeah,
good shit, to what bets are we actually putting in? I know we talked about it, but I want to throw a couple parlays out there. But quick recap of the games so your lock of the week, Garza, what was it? Green
yeah,
Bay?
it's the Packers. Yeah, it's Green Bay minus. I think it's almost 3.5 or 4. I don't give a fuck if it was 6 or 7. I'm taking them all the way. I just don't think. Michael Thomas being out for the Saints is a huge piece, but there is no Drew Brees anymore. This is Jameis
Yep.
Winston we're talking about. There are
Yep.
going to be turnovers in that game. I've already said what my piece
Lock
with it.
Lock
Lock
of
it
the
up.
week. My
Yeah.
lock of the week is the Niners with the points against Detroit. Like I already said, I'm taking it -6.5. But I mean, if you did money line, regardless, that's the lock of the week. And let's just say, every Batman pick's got to have a Robin pick. So it's a lock, but not your lock of the week. What's your runner up lock?
Yeah, I would say my runner-up is going to be the Seattle Seahawks
I like
versus,
that.
versus the Indianapolis Colts. We've already got a recap of what we said earlier about it. I just feel comfortable. I think Russell Wilson's in a very good place. I think he's found his guy in Metcalf. I think that they're just going to explode. The offense is going to just take over control. Jamal Adams is back. I think they're having all the things in the right places, and yeah, I mean I like Seattle here. That's my Robin to my Batman pick. Yeah.
I would probably ride with that one the same. Or, it is a close tie. Well, I really believe the Chargers are going to
Chargers. Yeah, I knew you were going to say the
get out
Chargers.
of.
Yeah.
I really feel like the Chargers
I
are going
almost want to say that's kind of like we're so big on the Chargers that like it feels like a trap almost that they're
to.
getting
Yeah, it does.
points.
I mean,
Like
the fact that they're the underdogs now, just like, I mean,
did they not do good on the road with Herbert? Like, is that something that they didn't? I should know that.
I just don't understand. I think, they're giving Washington a lot of credit for being at home, and
Yeah,
I don't
Fitzpatrick.
know.
Yeah,
I mean, the Chargers can fuck up, but I mean, the spread's 1 point. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
cool.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's you have a teaser that you wanted to share, and
I
once again,
do. I do. My teaser is live. So the Bucks weren't fully disappointing last night. I did still have skin in the game as it came down to the wire. So I do have a teaser that's live right now. I actually did put this in like a week and a half ago, which you didn't appreciate because it's COVID shit going on, and I did it too early. But that's how excited I was about this teaser. So I took, and this is when the line was -7 for the Bucks. So I took a 6-point teaser, and usually when I say teaser, it's always going to be a 6 points difference one way or the other. So I did take Bucks -1. I took the Bills -0.5. I took the Chiefs -0.5, and then I also took the Niners -1. So that's when all those spreads were 7 or around 6.5. So basically, to win a large sum of money, which will cover some of the damage that happened last night with my Bucks bet, I have San Francisco just needs to win, the Chiefs just need to win, and the Bills just need to win, which I'm feeling super good about right now. So yeah, that is my teaser I have going. As far as a parlay goes, I probably will play a small one just with our teams that we like. So I think I'm going to do a Chiefs money line, Chargers +1. I am going to do Seattle and then the Packers. So that will probably be my small little parlay I'll do. Again, that's only going to be my only one. I don't do parlays. But as far as straight up bets go that I feel good about, you already know the Packers. You already know Seattle. I am going to put 1 unit probably each on San Francisco and Kansas City. And I know what you all are probably thinking. You're like, well, you guys are all, you're only taking favorites here. But this is just kind of how it goes. It's a week by week thing.
well,
Sometimes I just
The Chargers are a dog. The Chargers are
okay,
a dog.
technically they're a dog, but really like that's not really the case.
I mean, the
But
Chargers are the only dog that technically we're taking, but I mean sometimes that's just how
yeah,
it
and this sometimes it's the way it goes. And there's also teams where I love the points. So yeah, I mean, it's totally it just changes week by week. But those are my picks to click for the week. And yeah, put your fucking life savings on the Packers. That's what I would do.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same stuff for me. I love the parlay of the Niners -6.5, Seahawks money line, Chargers money line, Packers money line. So basically the same thing. I'm probably going to throw an extra one in there with the Raiders because one thing that I love doing is I love boosting the odds on the parlay, especially when the last leg of the parlay is, way later than all the other games or Monday night, because you can hedge. So those who don't know or understand what a hedge means, let's say, you only have one thing left to what you can do is you can put, what the fuck is that? Is that you?
Something popped up on my computer. Sorry.
No, you're good. So if you, if you just needed, for example, the Raiders to win for the last leg of your parlay for $2,500, you could put $500 on the Ravens. So you're gonna make at least 400, even if your parlay doesn't hit. So that's something that's a strategy that I like. But
I do like to live bet as well. So for those of you, like if I see a game going a certain way, just to make my money back or even to pump more into the same bet, you'll probably hear about that the following week. We don't do anything live, for the show. We film these after or before, obviously before the week starts with the respectable spreads that we have at the time. So spreads can change from now until Sunday.
Injuries can happen. COVID can happen.
Yeah, shit's gonna happen. So we're only talking about in the present right now.
And this is Friday night, just for anyone wondering.
Give us a fucking break. It's week 1, so
yeah,
this is our first ever episode as well. So we're trying this out. Hopefully, we'll put some money in your pocket, and if not, don't even blame me because I already said we're not professionals. And I think I'm excited for what's to come this season. I think there's going to be a lot of fun moments. I think as we progress too, we're going to be having people like yourselves, in the comment sections, or even people calling in talking about some of their experiences. So it's not.
No, I love that. That's a good call out. And as Zach just mentioned, this is something that we've talked about since last season. We've
2 years ago almost. Yeah.
Yes. And this has been in the works for a while. The degenerates that we are, we've been so busy just betting on sports, we didn't really get prepared. But what we do plan on doing is, having a Twitch channel like Zach was mentioning, where you can comment in and, even call in and interact with us, and we'll watch some like games together. I mean, we have so much stuff planned for the future, but the most important thing is we're having fun doing this. We love talking about football. We love having you guys, be part of the conversation one day.
For sure.
We're gonna win and lose together, and it's gonna be a fun ride. I'm looking forward
to win and lose. So I hope you understand that. This is gonna be fucking. I'm promising you winning picks. We're not gonna charge you $7.99.99.
Dude, our picks are free. I mean, it's as simple as that. You have all these clowns, trying to like create Instagram pages and like sell you locks for like $5.
We're not in for that. We're in for the love of the game and to hit the fucking cover and spread. And we hope you do too. We like to think that we're right most of the time, but we know it's just the way it goes, man. You play it how it lies, right? So,
yeah. Well, with that being said, I think we should wrap this up. And next time we'll be talking is when we're going over how we did in our picks. Yeah. And hopefully, good luck to everyone. And we look forward to the season. So with that, Mr. Zach, I think we should sign off.
Signing off now. Good luck. Like I said, take Packers. It's a fucking lock.
All right, guys. I'm ending it.
All right. See ya.